Moonbeam, the go-to smart contract platform for the Polkadot ecosystem. They've got some ambitious and lofty initiatives for this year, new roadmap. So I want to take a look at where this can go. Because obviously there's been a lot of, like, the Polkadot ecosystem with coins like Moonbeam, Makala, they've lost a lot of momentum from when they had it. So we want to take a look at, is this roadmap going to revamp it to the point that this can garner some momentum back? Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what this spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these coins. If you'd have done the same, popped $100 into them when I released the videos, you'd have gotten in at the price of recording. Sat on them for 16 months, you'd gotten it out at the all-time highs, and your profit from $100 into each in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand. Now, that's a house in under a year and a half. You're not going to get that in any other market other than crypto. Now, if you go on to copymycrypto.com, that's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. Whenever I add to my holdings with a new coin, I tell my members what coin and at what price. Whenever I sell, I tell my members what coin I'm selling and at what price. So it removes all the work for my members. They make the exact same profits. If you go onto the site, you'll see the profits that they've made. That is why there are thousands of members on the site. This year is going to be no different. If you don't have a portfolio sorted or your portfolio is full of trash, now is the time to do something about it, because make no mistake about it, we are very, very close to altcoin season. And if you don't have a portfolio or it's just full of rubbish, you're going to miss out on tons of profits. That is not the point of being in the crypto market. You want to make as much as you can. So you've got like limited time to sort these things out. If you go onto copymycrypto.com, have a read through the site, you'll see that probably it's a site you got to try out, guys. Now, Moonbeam. So first of all, Moonbeam, price action wise, not been great. Not been great. Like, when it launched at basically the worst possible time because it was right at the end of the bull cycle. And it's dwindled. It's never really gotten close to its previous high. It's dumped dramatically. And it's quite interesting because this had such hype. It's an ETH compatible smart contract parachain on Polkadot. They make it easy to use ETH developer tools. Moonbeam is much more than just the EVM implementation. It's a highly specialized parachain that mirrors Ethereum's Web3 RPC, the accounts, the keys, the subscriptions, the logs, and more. And the platform aims to extend the base Ethereum feature set with additional features like on-chain governance, staking, and cross-chain integrations. They have got one of the best smart contract platforms around. Its Ethereum compatibility is the best in crypto. The founders of Moonbeam are Derek Yu, who is the CEO of Pure Stake, Stefan Melhorn, who is a specialist in an early stage company management and operation. He's also worked with people like Samsung Pay, etc., etc. Katie Butler and Nate Hamilton from Pure Stake head the marketing and business development as well. So they've got a very good team behind them. Now, one thing that's worth noting, fundamentally, right now, I can totally see why anyone's bearish on Moonbeam. It's on all the big exchanges except Coinbase, so it could list on Coinbase and get bounced, but price action-wise, it's been pretty horrific. Like, yeah, it was at about 18 cents at one point in the bear cycle. It has hit heights of like 50, 60 cents, so it did do a bit of a recovery, but in terms of chart, this reminds me so much of like the Zcash chart. It's terrible looking. But they are trying to revamp and improve. So Moonrise initiative signals the next phase in the evolution for the new look Moonbeam network. So this is the ambitious roadmap that includes 8 times improved throughput, as well as ZK Auth for Web2 ID and major grants. So this initiative is anchored by a 2024 product roadmap that includes the introduction of parallel processing to improve throughput by 8 times. If you're unsure what that means, it just means 8 times the amount of transactions that can get through per second. upgrading this ecosystem integration, improving the developer and user experience, and more. Moonrise signals the next phase in evolution for Moonbeam and the Canary network Moon River. So more than 2 years since its mainnet launch, Moonbeam is well established as the leading solution for integrating networks such as Polkadot, Ethereum, and the broader EVM ecosystems. The Moonrise initiative is reflected in a comprehensive rebrand of Moonbeam's new look, underscoring how Moonbeam is more than a chain, it's a hub for developers. So Aaron Evans, head of operations at Moonbeam's foundation, said we're beyond excited to reveal Moonbeam's new look in conjunction with our ambitious plans for 2024. This year we are implementing improvements, upgrades and announcements to all facets of the Moonbeam and Moon River networks. Linchpin of the 2024 roadmap is enhancing the core protocol with the introduction of asynchronous backing, which is a form of parallel processing that will quadruple block space, halve block time to 6 seconds, resulting in an 8 times increase in overall throughput for Moonbeam, which is really solid. Like, that's a massive, massive plus. Is this going to be the thing that revamps it? It's a big, big question. Because the Moonbeam Foundation, as you can see, does now have a revamped look. I would always recommend you don't bother with all this fancy graphics. I actually think it's a really bad idea. However, it doesn't look like it's slowing the service down. Moonbeam Networks obviously done a little more in terms of redevelopment. Ecosystem wise, it's one of the biggest in is probably the biggest in the Polkadot ecosystem. Really, really strong project. Really, really strong project. It's and it has tons of development happening all the time on top of their network. And yeah, I mean, I'm fundamentally bullish on the technology. The question of the price action is a really big question. I can't see a world where this gets back to a previous high. I really cannot. The best kind of case scenario I can see for Moonbeam as of right now is maybe $5, and I think that even that is really, really high. You know, back in April of 2022, it had like a little bit of a surge, but really didn't do tons. Ran up to about $5.20. Seems like there's a lot of resistance that's kicked in for Moonbeam at multiple stages. $1 definitely going to have a ton. 50 cents is probably going to have quite a bit. Hell, I think there's a lot of resistance for this to break through. I think really the best case scenario for Moonbeam as of right now, even with the amount of holders, even with the amount of development, is only about $5. The volume on it is really weak, and it has pretty much consistently been weak. Like, we've seen a couple of days here and there where it's done something, 57 mil, 125 mil. So I had a couple of days of like doing really, really good volume. Again in December, I think it had a day where it did really good volume. But generally, volume's really weak. I think this is outstanding, but I don't. And I think the Moonrise initiative could be a real game changer, but again, you've got to bring on huge development. You've got to improve. You've got to introduce the grant system heavily to get as much development as you can possibly get. Because as of right now, the excitement for the Polkadot ecosystem and certainly the Moonbeam ecosystem has faded. Yeah, I think best case scenario is Moonbeam can get to a couple of dollars, maybe get a Coinbase listing, which would kick it on to maybe $5. But as of right now, there's simply retail excitement is gone for Moonbeam. So I wonder how much we're going to see, how that's going to come back. As of right now, it appears that the majority of retail excitement is hovering around base, real world assets, artificial intelligence. So to shift that narrative back to the parachains of Polkadot is a big ask. I think we'll probably see it struggle to hit $5. I think $5 is the best case scenario. I would not be shocked if this only manages to run up to $1.50, $2. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Do you think this is a sleeping giant that's going to get back to its previous highs? Tell me what you think in the comments. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in this bull cycle, you can do. All you have to do is join up at copymycrypto.com. If you don't have a portfolio or your portfolio is full of rubbish, now is the time to do something about it. If you head to copymycrypto.com, you'll see what my members have earned. You'll see what I've said in the past. You'll see the success stories. It's all public record. You can verify it. There's a reason that there are thousands of members on copymycrypto.com, and it is because of the money they're making. This year is going to be no different. We're in a bull cycle. Altcoin season hasn't started yet. So if you don't have your portfolio, do something about it as soon as possible, because once altcoin season kicks off, you're going to have missed out on a ton of profit. So have a read of the site, see what it's about, try it out, because it will be able to help you out, guys. And that's it from me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.